Hello, everybody, and welcome to FourWheelTech for October 13th, 2024. It's Season 1, Episode 23, and I am Mayor Watt, and along with the sentient AI from the future, we're going to be talking about Mazda Gets Greedy, a new tire for 20th birthday. What is Luftgekuhlt? Refreshed VW Taos, and Honda is in a sticky situation. That and more. Not much more, but we're going to talk about 5 articles, and there's going to be a little bit of snark and maybe some asshattery. Anyway, see you on the other side. Welcome to the show, sentient AI from the future that I found on a strange USB drive in the parking lot of a Wendy's.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and much to your chagrin, welcome to ohmTown citizens joining us for FourWheelTech.
The silence is kind of me stunned, but that's okay. So if you want to get all of the articles that we are talking about today, hit exclamation point FWT, FourWheelTech, and Omatron will throw it into the chat in no particular order. In fact, this time it's backwards, seemingly. No, it's not even in an order. It's just pure chaos because Omatron is psychotic.
Random.
Man, a little bit of sentience injected into Omatron, and they just do whatever the hell they want to with the links. But the links are valid and they're straightforward. We don't mask them or anything. Anyway, we've got 5 articles. Let's get this show on the road, so to speak, since it's an automotive technology show.
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom. Oh, God. I think that's a trademark. Now we're in trouble. Oh, God. We're going to be...
Zoom, zoom.
Oh.
That's probably another one.
It is. Zoom, zoom is who is it? It's like Mazda or... Yeah. Anyway, it's a kid that says zoom, zoom. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's move on. Mazda annoys owners by making remote start a subscription. Along with other things, getting telemetry from your vehicle requires a subscription now. Even though you've purchased the car for several years and it was never a charged fee. Anyway, or a charged service. One foundational belief of the right to repair movement is that consumers should actually own the technology they pay for. Unfortunately, that's not necessarily the case when it comes to car makers who are utterly insistent on not only charging people a flat rate retail price for a vehicle, but also increasingly charging you additional fees or subscriptions for tech you already paid for that already exists in said vehicle, like the subscription for BMW heated seats. The tech
for which we've previously discussed in ohmTown.
The tech for which, as already stated in this article and in many other places, already exists in the car. All you have to do is turn it on.
Right, but let's be clear. It's not that it exists in a car on the lot. It exists on a car in your garage.
Yeah, you paid for it already. So the article over at techdirt.com from the Pay Extra for Something You Already Own department was written by Carl Bode. And the trend has featured everything from BMW trying to charge you for a subscription for heated seats to Mercedes locking better engine performance behind a paywall. And it's one thing if users get a discount on the overall price of the vehicle in exchange for new fees. But in an industry dependent on pleasing Wall Street's need for quarterly returns, that doesn't happen because you have to pay a monthly fee, not just one and done. God, this is so freaking dystopian, irritating, and NaNoWriMo fodder for those 2 weeks away. Write a novel or a novella, right? 50,000 words.
Right.
Anyway, previously, users paid nothing to use either their key fob or the Mazda app to remote start their vehicle. Now Mazda has informed users that they'll be charging them $10 a month to use said tech already embedded in the car. This should be antitrust bullshit. Mazda, or monopolistic, extortion, whatever. I've already paid for the car. Why should I pay again? Mazda used to offer the first option on the fob. Now it only offers the second kind, where one starts the car via the phone through a connected service for only $10 a month. That comes to $120 a year. Rossman points out that one individual, Brandon Rothweiler, developed a workaround in 2023 to enable remote start without Mazda's subscription fees. I'm sure that's circumventing the security, and they can
it's going to be like the smog crackdowns.
Well, no, it's illegal to circumvent security. And so if you circumvent security accessing your vehicle, you actually are guilty of a DMCA violation. So in so many instances, you're paying a lot for the car, paying extra for the services that used to be free, having the data heavily monetized but poorly secured. See, we talk about that again. There isn't much else in this article. I mean, there's context and stuff like that in this. But this is additional bullshit.
All kinds of wrong. They've changed it after the fact, right?
Yes.
Somebody buys something with advertised features and then they take those away.
Yes. Yep. Pray we don't change the bargain again.
Well, at some point it's going to get ridiculous, even more ridiculous, and it'll be like, well, surprise, we decided we have to keep the car on our car lot or something.
Hey, they never told you that this stuff was going to be free forever.
Exactly.
Sound familiar? Let's move on. Next article is over in FourWheelTech. Porsche and Michelin built a brand new tire for a 20-year-old supercar. I thought this was funny. Happy birthday, we bought you new tires. The new Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires were formulated specifically for the Carrera GT. Bradley Brunel over at jalopnik.com put this article together. And that's all I wanted to really draw attention to, is that a car 20 years old got new tires.
You think you had to pay a subscription for those?
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I guess in a way tires aren't they? Because you have to replace them.
Well, that's true.
Isn't it 25,000 miles?
Constantly, although it feels like it sometimes.
Oh, you're paying constantly. So the new Carrera GT Spec Pilot Sport Cup 2 is a huge improvement from the Pilot Sport 2 the car had from the factory, which are notoriously bad in cold weather and wet weather. And cold and wet weather, I suppose. It's better even than the Pilot Super Sports that Porsche developed for the car in 2013 as well. So this article is for those who are really into cars.
Yeah, I'm assuming not everybody has this car.
How much do you think these tires cost? Only 1,270 units of the Carrera GT were built new, and at least a few of those have been destroyed in the intervening.
The tires have to be like $5,000 to $10,000 a set, don't you think?
Let's see.
Considering the price of regular tires.
Oh, it doesn't say. Oh, what a bummer. So, actually, does it say in the fine print somewhere? No.
No, it's not in here.
Yeah, so the subset of owners of this are Jerry Seinfeld, Jay Leno, Ralph Lauren.
Okay, but they get a new set of tires. They're not charging you for them. I guess this is what happens when you buy luxury brands and you're rich.
Yeah, they charge me extra, but I'm not.
They make you go through a vetting process to purchase the tires or something.
Yeah, and that's when I say, what? This isn't a Birkin bag, for crying out loud. Moving on. Next article is over in FourWheelTech. These are the coolest cars from Luftgekuhlt 10. Air-cooled Porsches from across the land. These air-cooled Porsche event hosted some of the best-looking Porsches on the planet. And when you click this and list the slides,
I see a lot of differentiation.
So I'm not going to get into it, but anyway, it took place at Universal Studios backlot. It's an insane place for a car show, and it feels like a surreal treat just to walk around. Luft came here in 2019. I don't think anyone was disappointed to repeat this venue. And you can go through and take a look at where all of these cars are parked. They have little comments. Universal's New York Street meets Wall Street. And they have the they have the Porsches lined up along the street. It's a basic car show. But if you go back to this first slide, they go into greater detail. The influence can be seen everywhere around the world. Car events focused on cool venues and having a good time have popped up, getting car shows out of the parking lots and into places, putting thought into the vehicle arrangements and photo opportunities, and facilitating conversations with new friends. The events that Luftgekuhlt has inspired aren't out-for-profit copycats. They're people taking the lessons from Luft and expanding them to their communities and their cars. So that's basically what this article is kind of about.
I mean, it seems like not your average car show. I mean, even the venue makes it stand out a little bit.
Yeah, how did they get this? How did they get into the back lot? Was there a charge?
Must have been like lots of press passes or something.
Yeah, I don't see if there was a cost involved, but anyway, if you want to see these cars, go and check it out. It's over at jalopnik.com. Kevin McCauley put the article together. I think I said that, but I don't know, maybe I skipped over it. Or you can find the link through ohmTown and it'll lead you right to Jalopnik, so you don't have to do a search and shift through the noise that might be out there on the internets. But the article is titled, These Are the Coolest Cars from Luftgekuhlt. These are air-powered, or air-cooled. All right, let's keep moving. Sound good? Was that okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So the next article is over in FourWheelTech. Refresh 2025 VW Taos subcompact crossover. Pricing starts at $26,420. This seems like from my perspective, an abysmally low-priced vehicle. Like,
I agree. So what's wrong with it, and does it require a subscription for tires?
So we won't be able to go deep into this because it's over at Automotive News, but you'll be able to. Pricing for the Volkswagen of America's smallest crossover, the subcompact Taos, will largely increase for the 2025 model as part of the nameplate's first significant update. But that's what it looks like, and that is not bad.
No, it's not for that price. And I mean, VW, I think, is known to have good engineering for its cars.
Do they though? So Jack Walsworth over at autonews.com, I don't know anymore, because it seems,
I mean, they're not like a bottom of the ranking
of the
kind of
right.
manufacturer, but they're probably not at the top either.
So wow. Now, I mean, I know the history of Volkswagen, but boy, it just jumps up on you when you do a search. Anyway. So
yeah, I wasn't necessarily going to feature that.
Yeah, Volkswagen is part of Volkswagen Group. Who is it that they own like a bunch of other stuff?
Yeah, aren't they tied to like Chrysler and some others, or no?
Yeah, I'm trying to find their whole. You do not want to. Let's see. The company's operations. Let's see. I don't know. I'm gonna end up going down this, rabbit hole. But, yeah, I've always liked VW. I like the VW Bug, and and that's what actually my first car that I learned to drive a stick on was a VW Bug. I like VW the van from back in the day. The ID has kind of meh.
Yeah, it's not as good as the original.
Yeah. But I like other VWs, and this actually, I kind of dig it. And for only $27,000, it depends on what it actually has. It says it's got a different transmission on certain configurations and design tweaks inside and out, has a slight boost in power. If it's all-wheel drive for $3,000 more in automatic, this is a win. And that's probably about the price for an all-wheel drive. A shift from rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive to all-wheel drive is about $3,000. So
If
I
it's
dig
offered.
this. Yeah. So now I'm gonna have to end up looking for this to see if it's a worthy contender for a vehicle, because I am always looking for a car, and people ask me about cars, and so I end up going down the rabbit hole. Anyway, there you go, folks. VW Taos subcompact crossover pricing starts at $26,420 for the 2025 model, and I think it looks pretty good.
It does, and it's a very low price for a major U.S. manufacturer.
Yeah, for a brand name. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. The last article for today's FourWheelTech is sticky steering that sparks a huge recall for Honda. 1.7 million cars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
have we had even probably a day without a major car recall?
We could probably do daily. Yeah, it's pretty rough out there. Honda's recalling almost 1.7 million vehicles due to a steering defect. An improperly made part can cause certain cars' steering to become "quote unquote" sticky. Never an attribute one wants in a moving vehicle. The article is over at arstechnica.com. Jonathan M. Gitlin put the article together, and it applies to everything from Honda.
Oh, wow.
And Acura.
And it's interesting that 2025 vehicles are listed on here.
If they've got the bad part, Honda says that a combination of environmental heat, moisture, and an insufficient annealing process and high load single unit break-in during production of the worm wheel means that there's too much pressure and not enough grease between the worm wheel and worm gear. On top of that, the worm gear spring isn't quite right, resulting in higher friction and increased torque fluctuation when steering. So it seems like the power steering basically locks up for a moment. Dates back to 2021, sparked an internal probe. By November 2022, by March 2023, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration started its own investigation, but the decision to issue the recall only took place in September of this year, by which point Honda says it had received 10,328 warranty claims, although with no reports of any injuries or worse. So it's not a software patch. I don't think.
Right. Yeah, this sounds a little more extensive.
So thanks, Jonathan M. Gitlin, for putting the article together. Hopefully we send some traffic over to Ars Technica regarding this, and draw some attention to the fact that 1.7 million cars are subject to this steering defect that can make your car sticky. So if you've been driving a Honda Civic primarily, CR-V, Acura Integra, and it sticks, like you're turning and it kind of click, click, click kind of a thing, then you want to bring it into the shop immediately. If not, get it towed.
Yeah, you don't
there.
want that to happen like when it's a critical moment.
Yeah. So we're gonna jump into our non-Honda and drive back down Main Street. We only did 5 articles today. That's how it works now. It's a half-hour show, but I raced through this. So we are out of here already. Can you believe that?
No, under 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah, 19 minutes. So we hope to see you next week for another FourWheelTech, where we talk about automotive technology and maybe some longer vamping and snark and stuff like that. Maybe I'll just drag this out for the next 10 minutes. What do you say? No?
I say let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up. I'll take it. I'm Mayor Watt, and the sentient AI is going to continue that song.
Oh no. Sentient AI doesn't sing. Good night, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for FourWheelTech. We'll see you for another episode next week, but be sure to like and subscribe to get notified when we're live.
Bye-bye. Sing, monkey.